I've never done one of these before with the whole Zoom, so you'll have to bear with me, but it's okay because a lot of you guys are new coaches and you're going to be doing things that are a little scary. And so I kind of want to show you in that vein that doing things that are scary are sometimes the best way to learn. And so I wanted to title what I was going to talk about is stop waiting for your after picture. So many times a new coach or even a coach that's just starting a program thinks that there is just this end picture. And once they have that end picture, everything's going to fall into place. And I am here to tell you that one of the reasons why, like Kevin said, I tend to have a lot of people join me is because I get people to join me in the beginning, doing it with me. And I've been a coach now for almost 8 years this summer. And one of the things that I love about new programs is it gives me an opportunity to kind of reinvent myself. And it also gives me an opportunity to kind of share my growth of what I was doing. You know, when I started coaching, I was 41. Now I'm 48. And things happen when you're 48. And so I kind of wanted to share with you my story of why I chose to do the work and how I kind of got people really to join me. I hate to say the word sell because I don't sell. I share and I inspire people to join me. And so 2019, no lie, was the worst difficult year for me personally. And I had cancer in 2016, so that's saying something. And so hopefully if you're joining this group, maybe you're right now in a tough season, I am telling you that you could not be in a better place with this trainer and with this program, because what I did with 6 weeks of the work completely helped me refocus and find my inner badass or like he says, my inner killer. So 2019, for some reason, I felt like I was getting older. I felt like maybe I didn't belong in this business. I just had a lot of self-doubt. And on top of self-doubt, I had this personal problem in my life that kind of blew up. And I just felt like everything was out of control. And lacking self-doubt, feeling like I was out of control, I just felt weak for the first time in my life. And when I ran this business, I never felt weak. I never felt like an imposter. I never felt like, like I wasn't good enough. And this program came around and I was in the middle of doing Morning Meltdown. And so I actually wasn't going to do the work until I finished Morning Meltdown. But I was in such a bad place in my life that my anxiety was so high that I was doing the work sample video. I tried it at night because I felt like, well, let me sweat. Maybe it'll help me. And it was just this amazing feeling of, oh my goodness, like I felt like whatever anger I had in me, whatever anxiety I held in me, like just seemed to dissipate. And I noticed that I was sleeping better. I noticed that, those workouts were kicking my butt, but I felt victorious. For the first time in my life, there was one area of my life where I could feel like, yes, I showed up and I did it. And, I really did everything that was asked of me to the best of my ability. And so when I started to share to get people to come with me, I kind of shared that story with people that it had been extremely difficult 2019 and that I really want to do something that is going to push me out of my comfort zone and give me one place in my life where I can control what was going on and I could feel good about myself. And believe it or not, when you're vulnerable enough to share why you're really doing something, it's amazing how many people will join you. Because let's face it, I didn't tell you what my difficult personal thing was in 2019, but I didn't have to. Because so many women that joined me just got out of a divorce. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe they, had been grappling with anxiety or depression. Maybe they just kind of fell off. Maybe a lot of women like me were feeling like they were getting older and just feeling that kind of feeling like, do I belong? Do I not belong? That kind of thing. And so what I have found, guys, is that when I do a group with a group of people who have said, yes, Kim, I feel that way, I want to join with you, it is hands down the best group, totally the best group, because it's raw, it's real. You get to feel what it's like when you're doing it. Today was the first day of one of my groups for bar. And my Monday morning was I woke up to dog poop all over the laundry room. And I almost didn't want to do my workout because I was like, oh, I don't have time, all this other stuff. And so I went into my groups and I was like, I got my workout done. This is how my Monday started off. And what was amazing was after I did that post, all these people started showing up. Like, one of my girlfriends who has a new baby is like, I was up at 2 and 3, but I got my workout in. And it just creates this environment that not only serves other people, but it serves you too. I always look at it that I am so privileged that not only do I get to serve people, but in serving other people, it actually helps me. And so if you're somebody that's watching this and you're like, oh, I got to wait for my after picture and I have to do this. No, what you need to do is share your authentic why as to why out of all the programs you chose this one, because people are just knocked over with things that they could do, whether it's Peloton or bar or whatever. You chose this. I'm sure that there is a deeper reason why you chose it. And when you share that with people and you say, hey, you know what? Let's do this together. We can do this together. You will be surprised how many people like their ears perk up, because it's a little different than saying, hey, let's just do this workout. The next thing I wanted to do is kind of talk to you guys about things that maybe you don't realize you could be doing during your journey so that people pay attention, so that people gain interest. There's a reason why people watch home TV all weekend, because they like to watch a story. They like to watch a kitchen that starts out looking one way and ends up looking another way. You get to do that yourself, and it gets to be your story that you share with people. And so I call it building FOMO, fear of missing out, but really it's fear of missing out on a way to transform their life. You get to show them that transformation is possible. You get to show them, yes, I'm here, but I'm going here. And they get to come along with you. It literally is the best thing about this business. And so one of the things that I tell my new coaches to do is to talk about your why. And I tell them to do it by video. Here's why. I just told you my story. If I had written that out, a lot of people probably wouldn't have read it. A lot of people probably wouldn't have gotten the emotion from it. When you do video, it is the shortest way that you can build trust with people. And here's the thing, people don't care if you mess up. People don't care if you say all the time. People care about you just simply sharing your story. And so that's the first thing. And if you really haven't thought about your why as to why you picked this program, I really want you to do that and think about, and I bet you this, I would bet you that you picked this program because there was a moment in your life where you were like, it ain't going down like that. Like there was a moment, maybe you looked at the mirror and you're like, I'm ready. Like I am done. I'm ready. You need to share that with people because it's not this big, vague kind of thing. It really is those moments when you're in the mirror, when you get out of the shower, where you're like, okay, I'm done. This is what I'm doing. And people connect with that. The next thing that I tell people to do is one of the greatest things is Beachbody gives us a sample workout, a free sample workout that you can use. I do a lot of that in my existing groups. And so in my existing groups where I have people doing other programs, I will ask people, hey, I would love for you to try this out and give me your opinion. And then I tell them, tag me on social media or send me a message, send me like a picture and like a little blurb that I can share. People love to help, believe it or not. And they love to give their opinions. And so I ask people, I often ask people who maybe are not involved in my Beachbody business, people who I know maybe go to CrossFit, maybe they're really into the gym. I'll reach out to them and I'll say, hey, we have this amazing trainer and I would love to see what you think about him. I know you love your gym routine, but can you give me a little bit of information on it? And they do the sample workout. And I've had people who love the gym, but fell in love with that sample workout. And they're like, okay, girl, like, what do I have to do to join you? So don't take that for granted, that sample workout. In your IG, I work a lot on IG now. I do work both Facebook and IG, but IG has this ability to put highlights in your IG stories. And so make a highlight reel and call it, the prep, the work, whatever. Put your day one picture in there. Put your video in there where you talk about like why you did this. You can also do this on Facebook with your album. You can make an album and do that. Just a place where people can go, that people can start watching you. This is the hugest, if that's a word, big thing that people do is I see them videotape their workout. But what they do is they videotape their workout and then they just post it and then they don't write anything on it and then they just delete it from their phone. I don't want you to do that because sometimes the greatest growth that you can show is when you keep showing people your old videos. I look a whole lot different when I started doing pull-ups on the pull-up bar than when I finished. In fact, I took a video and I was doing the pull-ups and I can only do 5. And I was saying in the video to my husband, I can't believe I'm so strong and I can only do 5 pull-ups because I was so frustrated. Guess what? I kept that video because by the end of the 6 weeks of the work, I was like pulling myself up and like feeling myself. And like, it's one thing to show when you win, but I always love to show people how I started. And so I would always follow up that win with, this is my first video trying to do a pull-up and I'm complaining to my husband. And so don't lose those videos. In fact, on your phone, make an album called the prep or the work and keep your pictures in there so that you have things to keep posting and doing it. I know a lot of people are coaches and they have a full-time job or they're full-time parents. Make your job easier for you. One of the things that I think is important, and I'm actually going to give you a homework assignment about this, is right now we're in the first week of the prep. And so make sure you take a video of doing one of the basic workout exercises that we do. Like for instance, maybe it's a pull-up, maybe it's a push-up, maybe it's something, and I particularly think it should be something you struggle with because it's not just fun for you, it's fun for the people watching you to be like, yes, I didn't do my push-up on my knees today. And there's a video of you 4 weeks ago on your knees doing your video. And so that's one of your homework assignments to do that. Have that day one or that week one video that you're going to keep going back to show people your growth. Another thing that I tell, what's interesting is when you share videos like that, you don't even have to tell people that how much you've changed. I get messages all the time and people are like, girl, like, do you see your abs? Like your abs are like insane. And so, people are watching you change. Can you imagine if you just showed up after 4 weeks and was like, hey, this is what I look like, and they didn't get the chance to kind of watch you? So that's always big for me. Share Amwala. I am such a fan of Amwala. I'm not embarrassed to say that. He sells himself. He is a super trainer. People pay him a lot of money. He trains NBA stars. In our house, we're like huge Philadelphia Sixers fans. And so the fact that we found out that he was training like real NBA stars, like everybody was hooked in my family. And so you guys are going to get him. And I have to say, there are so many great super trainers, and the information that they put is so amazing. But I have to tell you, I set my timer when he goes live because I know he is going to give me either something about my nutrition, something about my motivation, or just something for me to think about. And so I will take my phone on my laptop and I'll share a snippet of what he's talking about, and like talking about how awesome is it? Like, you know, how many people, you know, buy a Jillian Michaels, whatever CD, and they don't get to talk to Jillian Michaels. They don't get to answer any questions. We get to do that. And so you get to kind of share that. That makes people excited to join you. So one of the other things that you should do is leave a little time with your workout to go live after you finish your workout. For me, when I finished my workout, I felt amazing. And so that energy transfers to other people. The best way you can have people join you is to be full of good energy. It's like the easiest thing there. And so sometimes after your workout, when you feel amazing, where you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't think I was going to survive, but it was amazing. That's how you build that FOMO, that, God, I want to feel like that after my workout. I want to feel like I can kick butt. One of the things that I did after my workout is I had a chalkboard in my playroom / workout room. And so I would always share a quote that Amwala would say, and then I would write my affirmations. Because remember, guys, when I did this program, I was not in a good headspace. And so I chose to write my affirmations out after I did my workout, because that's when I felt the most strong. And so many women reached out to me and they were like, oh my goodness, I'm going to do that after I do my workout. And so just because they're not joining you today doesn't mean that you can't serve the people who are watching you do this program. And then the last thing that I tell people to do is to gather evidence. You know, it's one thing to tell people, you know, join my online group and do this, but people want to see evidence of that. And so I show people, you know, my challenge group. I show who showed up today. You know, I might share like a win that somebody shared in the group. Of course, I always ask people before I share their stuff on social media, and you should too. But people love to see like, oh, she does have other people she's doing this program with and things. And here's the thing, if you're a new coach and you don't have anybody right now, you have this group. Utilize it. Show people how awesome it is to be a part of something that's great and gives you great accountability. And then the last tip I have is this. It's really important that you pick a day to share your before and after. Don't wait 4 weeks. Don't wait 6 weeks. You know, when I was in the 80-day obsession test group, I would always pick Sunday mornings. And Sunday mornings, I would put my before and after, and I would talk about the week, and I would talk about what non-scale victories I had, and I would invite people to join me every Sunday. And here's the thing, it wasn't about the before and after picture. It was about the story. It was about what I overcame that week. It was about what was hard that week. You know, we have this amazing job as coaches, but I want you to understand that our job as coaches is not for people to see us win all the time. Our job is to show people how we are resilient, how we get past excuses, how we show up, and how we're benefiting from that. And so hopefully all of this has been helpful to you guys in helping you start your group.
Kim, that was exactly what we were looking for. I love the energy you have, love the tips and coaches. You know, what I absolutely love, some of the things I wrote down is we don't understand it, but this is how we act. We always feel like we need to post the perfect side of us, the good side of us, us doing all those pull-ups that you talked about. That's not what people relate to. People relate to you where you were, not where you're at. They want to be where you're at, but they can't relate to that. They want to relate to where you were when you first said yes. So talk to that person who you were when you said yes. I really like that. Love the home improvement shows analogy that you talked about, how people, it's great to see nice, clean kitchens, but they watch the show to see the before and after and the journey along the way. And that's exactly what people love doing with you and your social media accounts. Now, let me just quickly reiterate what Kim said with the assignment. So what she wants you to do, and I love this assignment. In fact, I'm going to make it just a little bit more outside your comfort zone. She wants you to take a video of yourself doing some of the moves from 4 weeks of the prep, ones that are difficult for you to do. You're going to record these. After this, I'm going to do a separate post. And when I won't do this, I won't pick winners until a little bit later, but you have the rest of today, some of tomorrow, to then post, comment below of that post with the video of you struggling to get through those workouts. Look, you're in a safe zone. None of us are going to judge you. It's okay. But this is a great opportunity for you to take it and to show us you took the video, and then we will pick winners based on that for some swag opportunity. Kim, this was phenomenal. I love what you had to say. Coaches, if you stick to what she said, you will be successful. Kim, thank you so much for joining us today on our training.
Bye.
Bye, guys.